Can you believe it? Caitlin Clark, the rookie who made WNBA history with a triple-double in her debut, might not clinch the Rookie of the Year title. Unbelievable, right? It turns out that Dan Patrick just dropped a bombshell about this, and it could have a huge impact on Caitlin's future. Before we dive in, I'd appreciate it if you could give this video a thumbs up and maybe even consider subscribing to the channel. You'll stay updated on all the exciting news about Caitlin Clark and the WNBA. Let's dig into what he revealed and why it's such a game changer for her. The WNBA's attempt to contain Caitlin Clark proved futile as she made an outstanding debut. Not only did she showcase exceptional skills, but she also etched her name in the history books. In her first game, she achieved a rare feat by recording a triple-double with 13 assists, 12 rebounds, and 19 points, in addition to securing 2 steals. This remarkable performance made her the first rookie in WNBA history to accomplish such a feat. But Clark's exceptional play didn't stop there. She continued to surpass records, becoming the fastest rookie to reach 100 points and 50 assists in just 8 games, displaying an unprecedented level of skill and efficiency. Her ability to consistently outperform her peers and set new standards has raised the question of what makes her unique. It's not just her scoring prowess, she's also leading all rookies in points and garnering attention for her remarkable playmaking abilities, averaging 7.4 assists per game. She's on the verge of breaking the all-time rookie record of 7.5 assists per game, leaving fans eagerly anticipating her next move. In a remarkable turn of events, Dan Patrick, the well-known sports personality, was blown away by Clark's extraordinary ability to anticipate and analyze play developments on the court. Patrick went as far as to liken her to someone with eyes in the back of her head, attributing her exceptional court vision to her background in soccer. This skill has left opponents puzzled and amazed by her seemingly innate talent. While some may question whether Clark's abilities are truly unique, consider this astonishing statistic. In just her first 3 games, she achieved a feat only accomplished by 3 other rookies in the history of the WNBA, recording 50 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists. It's important to note that she achieved this against seasoned professionals, not college players, making her accomplishment all the more impressive. Clark's impact on the league is truly remarkable. Not only has she shattered league records, but she has also been rewriting the history books for her team, the Indiana Fever, setting new benchmarks for assists in both a single quarter and game. She seems to have made it her mission to claim ownership of all the records since she entered the league. In the early stages of the season, things became more challenging. Despite Tiffany Clark's exceptional individual performances, her team, the Indiana Fever, struggled with a tough 0-5 start. It must have been incredibly frustrating for her. Despite playing at an exceptional level and achieving remarkable personal milestones, her team was unable to clinch a victory. Nonetheless, Clark's resilience shone through. Rather than succumbing to the disappointments, she continued to push forward, pouring her heart into every game. It's almost as if she was declaring, "I'm going all in. If necessary, I'll take on the entire league." You may be wondering, why would the WNBA want to keep its biggest star a secret? It may sound absurd, but Dan Patrick recently made a shocking revelation that has left many feeling unsettled. According to Patrick, the treatment of Caitlin Clark by the WNBA has been less than fair. He stated, "This is expected of Caitlin Clark. She's not the Rookie of the Year. Angel Reese is because that's a surprise." This statement implies that Clark's exceptional performances are being overlooked simply because she is performing too well. This revelation has sparked widespread debate and concern about the unfair treatment of talented players in the WNBA. Patrick raised an important point that goes beyond just comparing Clark's performance. He highlighted the glaring discrepancy in the treatment of Clark and Angel Reese. It seems like they are subject to different standards and expectations, almost as if they are playing 2 separate games with their own set of rules. Now, you might be wondering, who is Angel Reese? She is another immensely talented rookie in the WNBA. The issue here is that despite Clark's remarkable and record-breaking achievements, some people are downplaying her success. Why? Because they argue that it was expected of her. But when has it become a negative thing to meet and exceed extraordinarily high standards? Imagine if we applied this mindset to other sports. Sorry, LeBron, you can't be MVP because we already knew you would be exceptional. It's quite preposterous when you think about it, isn't it? And Dan Patrick is not the sole person highlighting this issue. Other sports commentators, including Colin Cowherd, have also pointed out that certain media outlets seem to be focusing more on Clark's subpar performances rather than acknowledging her consistent improvement. Cowherd has suggested that there may be an agenda at play, questioning the true intentions behind this biased coverage. Is the aim to foster healthy competition, or is there another underlying issue driving this narrative? It's been suggested by some, such as Jason Whitlock, that the WNBA is purposefully downplaying the accomplishments of Clark to bring attention to other players. However, this strategy seems counterproductive when you consider that Clark is drawing more attention to the WNBA than ever before. Not only is she an electrifying player to watch, but she is setting records and generating increased interest in women's basketball. Shouldn't the league want to embrace and promote this kind of success? It feels like there's a peculiar effort to play down her achievements rather than celebrate them, almost as if to imply, sure, she's talented, but let's focus on someone else instead. One can only imagine how frustrating this could be for Clark. Clark seems to be unfazed by the surrounding noise as she continues to pour her heart into every game, consistently setting new records and leaving everyone speechless. With a superstar like Caitlin Clark in the WNBA, one might expect the league to be thrilled. While fans are showering her with praise, it seems that not all players in the league share the same level of enthusiasm about her presence. Isn't it incredible that Clark has amassed an astonishing 700,000 votes to be the leader in the All-Star race? It's truly impressive, not to mention commendable. However, it's interesting to note that despite receiving overwhelming support from fans, there are some people within the league and media who seem to downplay her accomplishments by suggesting that her success was expected and not particularly noteworthy. What if we extended this approach to other sports? Imagine saying, sorry LeBron, your 30-point triple-double doesn't count because we expected you to perform at a high level. You might wonder why this phenomenon is occurring. It seems that Clark's situation highlights a larger problem in women's sports. Female athletes often have to work twice as hard to receive recognition. It's not sufficient for them to be excellent. They must exceed expectations to stand out. It's perplexing that despite Clark's remarkable record-breaking performances, there is a noticeable lack of acknowledgement and appreciation from certain quarters. Critics argue that her success was predictable, but when did meeting and surpassing extraordinarily high standards become less commendable? This issue extends beyond Clark, as many female athletes across various sports face similar challenges in earning the recognition they deserve. There is an inherent barrier that female athletes must continually navigate to receive the respect and acknowledgement they have rightfully earned. Supporters of Clark are vehemently advocating for her to receive fair recognition and compensation for her outstanding achievements. They are rallying behind her, emphasizing her remarkable performances on the court, and demanding acknowledgement of her talents. In a show of support, fans are creating and sharing highlight reels on social media, spotlighting Clark's exceptional skills and accomplishments, with the message that they are willing to take matters into their own hands if necessary to ensure she receives the recognition she deserves. Furthermore, what do you know? It's beginning to have an impact. People are being forced to pay attention to the overwhelming amount of fan support. After all, it's difficult to overlook 700,000 votes. However, there is still much to be done. Some demand alterations to the way women's sports are reported in the press. They argue that more diverse voices and those who are aware of the particular difficulties faced by female athletes are needed in sports journalism. Some advocate for increased funding for women's sports. They contend that leagues like the WNBA could better showcase their stars and provide them with the stage they deserve if they had greater funding. Furthermore, there is the notion of altering the discourse surrounding women's sports. Why not recognize the accomplishments of female athletes on their terms, rather than comparing them to those of their male counterparts? Ultimately, the work that Clark is doing is simply amazing. It is not required to be qualified or evaluated by others. It's not like Caitlin Clark's situation involves only one player, you know? It has to do with women's basketball's future. How much of an impact is she making? Not only is Clark shattering records, but she's also altering the rules. Consider it. When was the last time you noticed the WNBA generating this much interest? Thanks to her amazing performances, Clark is generating conversation about women's basketball in general, as well as about herself specifically. She's gaining more attention from the media, attracting new followers, and demonstrating to everyone how thrilling women's sports can be. This is where things get interesting though. Not only is Clark's success beneficial to her, but it also benefits the entire league. More fans translate into more TV deals, merchandise purchases, and ticket sales, like the snowball effect. The more successful Clark is, the greater the attention the WNBA receives, and the more opportunities arise for each player. That's great, but what if the league doesn't recognize Clark's achievements? That's probably what's on your mind right now. That's where things might get complicated though. What if Michael Jordan's influence had been disregarded by the NBA in the past? Crazy, huh? That's essentially what some people fear will occur with Clark. Should the WNBA fail to appropriately acknowledge Clark's actions, there may be grave repercussions. We're talking about passed up chances, disgruntled supporters, and possibly even some players who are unsure if they will receive the credit they merit. It's more than just winning medals and trophies. It's all about having respect for the athletes and the game. It's not all bad news though. The way that sports leagues handle their stars and the sports media in general are being brought to light by Clark's predicament. Tough questions are starting to be asked. Why are some accomplishments praised while others are given less attention? Is there a prejudice against women's sports? Above all, how can we make it right? Although these are difficult questions, they are nonetheless crucial ones. The truth is that it's not just about Clark, it's about all the young girls who wish to be like her and watch her play. It's about leveling the playing field so that all abilities and efforts, regardless of gender, are valued. What then is doable? To begin with, the sports media needs to include a wider range of voices. We need people who are aware of the particular difficulties faced by female athletes. Fair and impartial reporting that honors women's athletic accomplishments equally with that of men's is required. Furthermore, it goes beyond the media. Teams like the WNBA must also take the initiative. They must make investments in fan cultivation, content creation, and star promotion because everyone benefits from the league's success. However, what's the deal already? Things are changing. It's Clark's amazing performances that are making people pay attention. Fans of women's basketball are becoming more and more engaged with the game. Women's sports are beginning to receive the coverage they merit in the media. Clark is leading this sea of change, which resembles a tidal wave. The truly exciting part is that Clark isn't by herself. In sports, there are a ton of gifted women who are setting records and pushing boundaries. From Megan Rapinoe in soccer to Simone Biles in gymnastics, women are showcasing their incredible abilities to the world, and with every astonishing performance, they're transforming attitudes and providing opportunities for the following generation. I hope you have enjoyed this video. I request you to please give this video thumbs up and also consider subscribing to the channel. I appreciate it. See you in the next video.